Okay, so good day, guys. This one is the topic on performance appraisal and counseling. This was supposedly discussed to you face to face last meeting. However, because of power interruption, you were not able to do so. And since I am on a personal travel today, I decided to just do a video lecture anyway of the same topic. Um, for purposes of course, not only practical reasons, but I know that some of you are also preparing for the upcoming start of classes on Monday, and I think it would be convenient on both our parts to instead do a video lecture rather than a face-to-face discussion of this topic. Okay, so this was hindi tayo masyadong nakalayo actually last time. Nag-brown out kaya hindi natin naituloy. So I'll be redoing therefore the discourse, and I hope that through this topic you will also be looking back onto your own personal appraisal of your performance as government employees or as an employee of your respective organizations, and perhaps do a reflection on whether or not there is a need for you to be mentored or to undergo performance counseling so that you could more likely maximize um, not only the support as to logistics provided by your superiors, um, but for the purposes, no, for the purposes primarily to elevate most probably your performance bar, no, in terms of your respective duties and responsibilities as per your PDS or PDF rather. You could you recall your PDF, your position description form? Remember when you were hired or even when you were promoted, you actually had filled out and had signed and had let your superiors sign your position description form. And in your position description form would emanate the different criteria that would be considered in your IPCR or in your OPCR if you are a designated employee. Okay, so it is in this topic where we look back onto these concepts. Now, there are learning objectives as we always would include in our discourse, but definitely what we will be looking would be what is the concept of performance appraisal and counseling, no? The purpose, the objectives, the benefits, particularly on the part of the organization and even on the individual employee. And should there be methods and processes that are involved when we conduct performance appraisal, what are these? And along the process, we hope that we could also reflect onto different counseling techniques, no? Some of you probably are registered counselors and to which you could more likely help, no? If not the HR, kasi usually ang HR hindi sila hindi ko alam pero may mga HR kasi na hindi psychology major or na walang masyadong knowledge in terms of psychological processes, no? And hence employees could not really benefit from whatever support program they could or they must actually access, no, in order for them to thrive more or to perform more effectively as employees. So, titingnan natin yung mga yan dito sa topic na ito. So, the first thing that we have to consider definitely is the definition of terms, particularly of what performance appraisal and what performance counseling is, no? So first, we look into performance appraisal, no? And it says here, as you could see on screen, that it is a systematic and periodic process by which an organization evaluates and documents how well an employee is performing their job in relation to pre-established criteria and organizational objectives. So it involves assessing an employee's skills, achievements, behaviors, and overall contribution to the organization over a specific period. Now, I wanted you to look at the terms which were highlighted. So first, that performance appraisal is systematic, and hence it follows a process. No? There's nothing to evaluate without first having laid down the criteria, the targets. No? That's why at the end of the semester is the usual periodical term for evaluation. Remember, in government, we are graded in 2 semesters, no? That is from January to June and from July to December. You just look into your IPCR or to your OPCR, no? The periodical schedule of performance evaluation is every end of the semester. So that if the evaluation period would cover January to June, then by July, you should have done your performance evaluation. Okay. Now, is that what's happening? Siyempre kung minsan kapag nasa gobyerno tayo, maraming mga flaws, maraming mga hindi masyadong good na practice. Although what we are after are the best practices, no? And the best practice is that since you have scheduled you have a periodical schedule for performance evaluation, then that must be concretized. Okay? Kasi sabi nga natin dito, systematic and periodic process. Meaning to say, dapat ay mag-set, may proseso siya, nagsiset tayo una ng criteria, no? Ano ba yung included sa criteria? Kailangan tingnan ninyo yung nasa position description form nyo. Ano ang inaasahan sa inyo base sa inyong posisyon? At ano-ano ang mga support services na pwede ninyong na kung saan kayo pwedeng mag-contribute, no? Kasi halimbawa sa SOC, meron kasi tayong mga CRA, no? Meron tayong SOC leveling criteria, no? Key result areas, sinasabi nga nila, no, sa CRA, no? Those who are in SOCs could relate, no? So, merong counterpart ito sa yung IPCR ng HEI. I think we will also be looking into the context of DepEd kasi 'di ba meron ding IPCR ang DepEd, no? At katulad din ng mga nasa SUK, no? At the end of the school year, they are made to, in fact, mas mas rigid nga sa DepEd dahil kailangan pa nilang i-defend. Kailangan nila ng MOVs. Though ganun din naman sa SUKs. Yun nga lang ay hindi kasing formal ng ginagawa sa DepEd, no? Kasi sa DepEd talagang they really have to defend their the targets vis-a-vis the accomplishment as per their IPCR or OPCR, no? Sa SUKS kasi every end of the quarter, no, pumapasok na dun yung initial evaluation and mentoring. So, nagkakaroon na ng commitment sa part ng employee, no? Nagkakaroon na ng parang negotiation sa part ng between the employee and the immediate supervisor or superior, no? Like, say for example, if there is a target for first quarter for the employee, like say for example, research, so that if the employee targeted or agreed that um, she or he will be targeting for a research presentation within the first quarter. However, because of some uncontrollable circumstances, the employee was not able to do so, then there has to be adjustments. And dito papasok yung initial assessment at mentoring na gagawin na mangyayari at the end of the quarter. So, meron pang proseso sa pag-evaluate ng performance. Ang performance appraisal, usually may mga other terms yan, also known as performance review. Kaya nga, di ba, kung maalala nyo, merong mga mid-year performance review. Okay? Anong nangyayari dun sa mid-year performance review? As an organization, you hold a particular schedule of review, of all your targets vis-a-vis the accomplishments that the organization were able to have within the 6 months. And at the end of the 6 months, yun yung mid-year na sinasabi natin. Although kung minsan, kasama na rin doon yung perks ng socialization, perks ng yung work-life balance, we breathe out from the usual routinary activities of our organization. So, kasama din doon, syempre, yung ano ba usually ginagawa niya sa mid-year performance review, based on my experience, may mga team building activities. Kasi, the cohesiveness and the synergy between and amongst the team members also contribute to a better performance kasi, so kasama yon, laging kasama yon syempre sa kino-consider. Okay, so ayan. Now, as to performance evaluation or appraisal, it involves 3 steps. We are mentioning that it is systematic and that it follows a periodical process. And what are these? First is that there must be a setting of work standards. And usually, these are laid down by several criteria. So that for SUC, for example, and even for DepEd, since all of us are eyeing for performance-based bonus, di ba? So what are the standards set forth by this particular measure, so that at the end of the fiscal year, we are able to have the PBB kahit man lang ilang porsyento. So, ibig sabihin nun, kapag nakakuha tayo ng PBB, ibig sabihin, ang organization natin ay performer or na-concretize ng organization natin yung mga sinet ng standards or targets, pagdating sa kung ano ang dapat nating i-accomplish. Okay? Another step is that we assess employees' actual performance against set standards. Okay? So these are the standards. How well do we flare onto meeting the standards? Okay? So there is a comparison between what the employee has achieved toward or as against that of the standard. So that if, for example, the standard would say that an associate professor in SUC must do research, within the rating period, how many researches have you targeted, or how many researches were given to you as a target, so were you able to fulfill the target or the criteria, for example, so that if the answer is in the affirmative, yes, then titingnan natin, is it a mere concretization of the set target, or has it exceeded, has the accomplishment exceeded the target? no? Kasi syempre mas mataas pa rin ang rating kapag na-exceed mo yung yung target, no? So for example, kung isa lang ang na-target mo pero naka-accomplish ka ng tatlo o ng dalawa, mas mataas ang rating mo doon. Okay? And that the third step is on the provision of feedback to the employees so that if and when there are deficiencies, this has to be improved. And if there are efficiencies, meaning to say, if the employee is efficient enough, if the employee was able to meet the target and had even exceeded the target, then the employee is deserving of what? Of a reward, of an award, or of a promotion. Okay? Depending, of course, on the guidelines, on the meritocracy, no? Guideline. Merit and awards. Di ba? May mga ganon tayong mga committees. Okay? The focus is on measuring and improving employees' actual performance and future potential. So, what do we mean in here is that the reason why we conduct employee performance evaluation or performance appraisal is because we wanted to improve the performance of the employee. Okay? Sabi nga natin dito, if there are deficiencies, then these deficiencies must be improved. And so, this therefore is futuristic, no? In performance appraisal, the focus is it has a way forward it emphasizes on progression, career progression of the employee, as premised on not only fulfillment but perhaps performing even beyond, no, what is expected of him or her as an employee. Okay, so performance evaluations are also called performance appraisals are also called performance evaluations, performance reviews, development discussions, or employee appraisals. Okay? Now, what are performance appraisals used for? Para saan? Okay? In here, we bring in the benefits of performance appraisals, not only on the part of the organization, but even on the part of the employees. So, for organizations, employee assessments provide insight into an employee's contribution, enabling management to improve working conditions, address behavioral issues, recognize employee talents, support skill and career development, and improve strategic decision making. Remember yung ating SPMS, no? Strategic Performance Management System. As much as possible, decision making must be based on objective yards or measures. And hence, we look into what? We don't only look into employees' contribution, but we also look into how um, satisfying perhaps how satisfying is the conditions, working conditions, how facilitative is the working condition in order for the employee to what really be able to perform his or her duties and responsibilities. No? So that if, for instance, there are issues with regard working dynamics or relationships, what should management or organization do? No? In case at which there is what underutilization of employees' skills, no? Yung para bang nasa maling environment ka na hindi ka naggo-grow, 'di ba? May mga ganun ba kayong pakiramdam kung minsan, magaling ako dito pero hindi kasi ako napapansin kasi hindi kasi ako nagpapapansin or dahil iba naman ang pinagtutuunan ng pansin, no? Or dahil well, mahirap kasing magpakabibo kasi kapag nagpapakabibo ka na, i-exploit ka naman, no? Yung tipong kahit hindi mo na trabaho ay papatrabaho sa'yo. Alin kayo doon? So, definitely the management has its way of detecting employee talents. And if you try to reflect, no, do you think you're able to really make use of your talents? No, do you think you're able to also share your talents for the betterment of your organization, or even for the refinement of your talents? So this would always also redound onto your personal or professional development. Okay, so what are the usual ayan, sabi dito, performance appraisal serve a dual purpose for both organizations and employees. Okay? So, first is it aligns performance appraisals, no? Help or aid in the alignment of individual effort with organizational goals. Lahat naman tayo gusto natin kahit papaano ay makapag-contribute sa ating mga respective organizations. And hence, kung tatanungin natin, yun bang effort natin ay nakadirekta doon sa kung ano ang dapat o nararapat na pamamaraan ng pag-contribute natin para makamit din ng organizations or ng ating mga organization ang kanilang ang objective, no, na sineset niya. Okay? So employees' work becomes directly linked to broader strategic objectives. Like for example, most of us, if not all of us, are in the academe, and hence our number one service is instruction. Okay, instruction. In fact, meron siyang adjective, quality instruction. Okay? Are you really able to deliver quality instruction? Okay, first, you compare those courses that are given to you, those courses that are assigned to you to teach. Is it aligned to your major or your field of specialization? Siyempre, kung sasabihin nyo, hindi kasi ano yan ma'am, hindi kasi namin control, no? Paano yan? Eh, nasa general education kami, no? Although we could give sana more pa, no, dahil we are experts, for example, in the field of psychology, but because we are in, for example, in the higher education department, we can only do so as much, no, as what we are given to, no, in terms of workload, no. So these are limitations of what we are capable of doing pa sana. Okay, pero you see, there can be so many ways naman of how we can help, no, deliver quality instruction. It's not only by, of course, facing your students, but you can do much. Siguro, kung hindi ka nagtuturo sa field of specialization mo, um, ano ba, paano ba? 'Di ba? Kasi syempre hindi ka rin naman pwedeng gumawa ng instructional material o ng module kasi hindi mo nga tinuturo. No? Okay, encourages a results-oriented culture. Okay, so that if you are in a program which is license, ano yun, degree program, no? With board examinations, no? You ask yourself, no? Are you contributory to the good turnover of the board examination of your respective programs? Okay. So if your answer is yes, then well and good, no? If not, then perhaps it's a matter of reflecting on what is it that we are doing. Okay? Supports workplace planning and talent management. So it identifies high performers for succession planning, and it flags underperformers for further support or corrective action. So definitely, what will you do to overperformers or to achievers? They deserve what? To be rewarded. So if there's a need for them to be promoted either via NBC or institutional promotion, no? So those of you who perhaps were promoted under institutional promotion or under NBC, no, you of course look into your performance. Definitely one of the documents that that the HR would require of you is your IPCR. Bakit? Kasi that would substantiate na ikaw ay nararapat ma-promote dahil performer ka. Okay? Pero kung by accommodation ang inyong promotion, no? Well, the HR, I think, well, either wala naman sigurong ganong ano no, wala naman sigurong ganong eksena no. Kasi ang point naman diyan ay i-require at i-require talaga ang inyong IPCR. Okay? At anong gagawin sa mga underperformers kapag satisfactory lang? In fact, 'di ba may ruling sa civil service na kapag ikaw ay ano yan, strike 2 ba, strike 3 sa satisfactory na rating sa IPCR ay merong ano yan, merong kumbaga demotion, no? Under the ano ba yung prime age R, no? Under prime age R, yan yung magiging consequence, implication kapag unsatisfactory or satisfactory, kahit nga satisfactory lang. Dapat sa government, ang rating mo ay VS, no? Kapag satisfactory lang at naka-strike 3 ka or naka-strike 2 ka, meron siyang corresponding demotion as per prime HR rules. Okay? Improves communication and transparency. No? Wait lang ha. Let me just get my tawag dyan, charger, laptop charger. So let me just pause it here. Okay, so it improves communication and transparency, no? And remember that the purpose of performance evaluation or appraisals is definitely for management to communicate it to the employees, their expectations in terms of their performance and vice versa. So that if and when there are also issues with regard the performance of the employee because of some concerns that has to be resolved by the management, this must also be well communicated to the management via open dialogue. Okay? And this nevertheless, no, would bridge some issues or some um, work-related dynamic concerns, no? Yung mga kung minsan 'di ba, yun ang mga problema natin. It's not usually the work but the co-workers, no? Okay. So it's on communication. The key word is on communication. It also facilitates decision making. No? It informs HR decisions as to promotions, transfers, salary adjustments, contract renewals, and even disciplinary actions. Okay? So this would or must actually be the very yardstick of the human resource division for promotion. Okay? So that those who deserve to be promoted must be promoted. And siguro hindi naman kapag halimbawa yung skill mo ay mas kailangan dito sa office na to or dito sa branch o sa campus na to, then perhaps the idea of transfers could be entertained. But as to salary adjustment, yeah, kasama din yan, no? Lalong-lalo na ngayon, tawag dyan, kahit sa mga COS, 'di ba? Sila din ay ini-evaluate in terms of their performance so that if there's a need for a raise in their salary because they were able to have, for example, they have secured a license already, a professional license, for example, relative to the work that they are doing, no? Then that warrants salary adjustment. Kahit sa contract renewal ng mga COS at ng mga casual, kasama din ang performance evaluation sa process. Enhances organizational performance Continuous feedback and development lead to higher productivity, better service, delivery, and more innovation. And all of these would redound to what? Organizational performance. Okay? Now, on the part of the employees, performance reviews are a way to recognize and thank them for their achievements, a way also to what? Find and give opportunities for promotions, no? Yung or bonuses, yung performance-based bonus na sinasabi natin, no? Help them get the training or education to advance their careers, no? If they need scholarship, for example, or if they need to finish their graduate school so that they could be more effective in their jobs, then why not? To find areas where they can improve, encourage, involve them in their career development, and start conversations about long-term goals. Because definitely, when you employ individuals, um, uh, yung employee turnover daw ay merong fiscal implications. So kung mabilis ang turnover ng employees, meron siyang economic impact sa organizations. Kaya ang trend ngayon ay yung mga COS natin, 'di ba, nagtatagal sila. Napansin niyo, not only because um of reasons na mahirap kasi maghanap ng trabaho lalo na sa government, ma'am, no? Hindi rin siguro 'yon, no? Kasi marami ring mga opportunities sana. Pero they stay because they feel that they are also given equal opportunities, and they also would what? They also have established siguro long-term goals with the organization. Okay? So now, performance appraisals, on the part of the employees naman, tingnan naman natin kung ano ang mga benefit niya on the part of the employees. So, it clarifies expectations daw. Employees understand what is expected of them in terms of goals, competencies, and behavior, and therefore sets a clear direction for performance and career growth. No? So, this is the importance when organizations or management would clearly communicate to employees what are expected of them in terms of their performance. And that is through the document IPCR, di ba? So meron tayong performance targeting, no? So kung ito ay January to June, ano ang mga targets mo for January to June? So that as an employee, kapag yun yung na-target for you to perform or to achieve from January to June, alam mo kung ano ang dapat mong gawin. Okay? So, constructive feedback, regular feedback helps employees recognize their strengths and identify areas for improvement, and therefore prevents performance issues from escalating. Okay, you would also know what your strengths, ano yung mga kaya mong gawin, kaya mong i-contribute, no? Siyempre kapag pagdating sa performance targeting, kapag alam mong Waterloo mo ang research, medyo hesitant kang mag-target, no? Pero dahil ang trend ngayon ay collaboration naman, no? So, pwede ka siguro makapaghanap ng mga kasama mo ng team na makakatulong sa iyo para magkaroon ka pa rin ng target along research, lalo na kapag ikaw ay nasa teaching, whether we like it or not, kasi kasama na yan sa um, indicators pag tayo ay na-promote. Okay? For career development, alam nyo naman na siguro yan, no? Definitely kapag maganda ang performance mo, malaki din ang chance mo for promotion and for career development. Yan, motivation and recognition. When your good performance is recognized by the administration, by management, by higher ups, is it not that it boosts your morale and your satisfaction? Now, what if hindi? No? Kasi hindi halimbawa nakikita yung mga kino-contribute mong effort, no? For as long as, but for as long as you're doing your part siguro, and you are fulfilling what is in your IPCR, no? Ah, sa NBC wala namang ganyan. Ang kalaban mo sa NBC ay sarili mo. Sa institutional promotion siguro kasi discretion ng mga nasa taas, no? So, ah improve self-awareness through self-assessment and feedback. Employees gain insight into how they are perceived and where they stand professionally, no? Although not all of us are given feedbacks as to how we perform. Depende siguro sa superior mo, no? Lalong-lalo na kapag ang superior naman ay um, subjective, no? May mga superiors bang subjective? O syempre kayo lang nakakaalam niyan. Kapag ang superiors ay subjective, ah, yung yung performance, ano ba ang indicator ng good performance sa kanila? Yung mga yung mas maraming naisusumbong. Ganun ba 'yan? Yung maraming ano, yung maraming kwan ma'am, na ichichismis na ano, ganun ba 'yon? Hindi naman, wala naman sa IPCR natin 'yon, 'di ba? Okay? Pero yun nga, hindi natin miaalis, no, lalong-lalo na sa tinatawag na organizational culture. And remember, sa Filipino culture, nandyan yan. Meron at merong professional jealousy, meron at merong crab mentality, no? Pero I hope that with you on ground, and with all of this that we are discussing, no, I hope we would make a difference. I would not exclude myself. I hope we would make a difference, no? Meaning to say, if there are subjective superiors, no, then let them be. Hindi naman pwedeng pakialaman mo sila kasi siguro management style nila yon, no? Pero for as long as you do your part, lagi kong sinasabi, if these are the expectations to you based on your IPCR, just do what you can. Not only to fulfill what's on your IPCR, but even to go beyond what's on your IPCR, so that you see, I always believe in good karma, no? If these people would not be the one to give you what you deserve the most, then chances are, no, there would always be ways and means for good karma to set in. Okay. So anyway, uh, we also look into the aims of performance appraisal. So sabi dito, actually yung mga ilan dito ay nabanggit na natin doon sa benefits ng performance appraisal sa part ng organization at ng employee. Pero tingnan pa rin natin isa-isa. It provide helpful information to help make decisions regarding transfers, o nabanggit na natin yan kanina, di ba? So that there would be a strategic decision making, no? So that we promote who deserves to be promoted. We don't transfer for the sake of what? Disciplining an employee, no? Had there been cases, 'di ba? Sa PNP kasi 'yun ang practice nila. Kapag merong caution ang isang um, superior o kahit ang isang subordinate, no, nililipat nila ng station, ng workstation. Meron din akong mga personal knowledge on some employees who were transferred because of not because of promotion, but because it's taken as a disciplinary action, and these are against civil service rules, no? But siguro there is also an ample discretion on the part of the management or administration. Okay? Much more for termination. You could not terminate without reasonable and justifiable ground, no? And if you are in the government, of course, no, you cannot do that because you are governed by um ano bang panyan? Procedural laws na sinasabi nila, no? We always would conform unto due process of law na sinasabi. So we cannot terminate anyone without justifiable ground. Okay? Supply the necessary data to identify employee training and development. Actually, yan yung next topic natin, training and development. So, who needs to be trained? Who needs to go for graduate school? Who needs to um, be sent for siguro a short-term course, no? Lalong-lalo na ngayon, ang trend natin is internationalization. So who needs to go abroad, for example, for an exchange experience, we always would go back onto our FSDP, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na Individual, Faculty, and Staff Development Plan. So, ano ba ang gusto mong mangyari sa'yo? Kaya dito papasok yung long-term goal natin. Hindi lang pagdating sa kung ano ang nagagawa natin sa organization, kundi kung ano din ang magagawa ng organization para sa atin, lalong-lalo na in terms of our career. Okay? Help make confirmation or acceptance in decisions, acceptance of decisions regarding employees who have completed a probationary period. So, yung mga deserving na ma-regular, no? Or ma-casual man lang. Okay? Siyempre, titingnan at titingnan pa rin yung performance evaluation. Okay? Help make decisions on salary increase, no? Or incentives. Okay? Okay. So, nabanggit na natin yan kanina, yung communication, nabanggit din natin. Okay? Help employees realize their full potential performance level. Okay? So that you could also have a self-assessment of what is it that you are capable of doing and what is it that you can do more for the organization. Okay? Okay. Now, what are some of the methods of performance appraisal? So we have two major methods, primary methods, the traditional and the modern methods. So we have subjective, manager-centric, no? Kasi ito ay traditional, no? Nung siguro mga wala pang masyadong labor laws, no? Wala pang masyadong nagre-regulate ng mga policies, workplace policies, no? Subjective, manager-centric ang performance appraisal. At kapag nangyari yan, natural, meron at merong siguro implication sa well-being ng employee, no? So this typically focus on past performance, no? Yung manager-centric, subjective manager-centric na yun. Itong traditional method na to pala. So modern methods focus more on objectivity, employee development, and strategic alignment ang kaniyang ina-underscore. Okay? So under traditional methods, we have the following methods. Ranking method, employees are ranked from best to worst, useful in small teams but becomes difficult and demotivating in larger groups. No? So ginagawa pa rin ba ito? Yung ranking sa employment, 'di ba, nagra-rank sila, no? Pag ikaw ay nag-apply for a plantilla position, no, you are being ranked based on several criteria, no? But definitely in terms of performance appraisal, there are pros and cons of this method, no? But as to ranking method, from the word itself, no, employees in terms of their performances are ranked from best to worst. We also have graphic rating scale. Employees are rated on traits like punctuality. Ginagawa din natin ito, no, meron ang government meron siyang combination of traditional methods and modern methods. Itong rating scale, ginagawa natin 'yan sa government, 'di ba? Pagdating sa may mga series, may mga specific indicators, and then from the indicators are are descriptive numerical skills, no? Descriptive or numerical skills, no? So, although ano lang yan, isang part lang yan, naalala ko pag sa ano sa HRMPSB, no, Human Resource Management Promotion and Selection Board. Isang aspect lang po ito, yung itong graphic rating scale na kumbaga criteria, isang criterion lang siya doon sa kabuuang pag-evaluate doon sa applicants, no? So, pag sa interview, kasi siyempre may mga interviews din yan. Pwedeng, pwedeng, pwede itong rating scale, no? So, how well is the applicant able to communicate, no? Himself, I mean, in the interview session, parang ganon. So, although, katulad nga na nabanggit ko, isang aspeto lang po ito. Okay? Then for modern methods, management by objectives, popularized by Peter Drucker, employees and managers jointly set goals which are periodically reviewed. Ito yung ginagawa natin, no? Meron tayong um, performance setting, no? Meron tayong ano bang ginagawa natin sa IPCR natin? Planning, strategic planning. Doon sa strategic planning, sinasama natin yung targeting natin yung targets natin for our IPCR. Okay? So, emphasis on measurable outcomes, enhancing motivation and accountability. In fact, this is what we are doing in strategic planning, di ba? Sa ating mga colleges or sa ating respective departments, we actually come up with measurable outcomes like number of researches published or number of researchers conducted or presented, no? Number of patents, utility models, o mga ganun. Okay? Number of instructional materials developed. Okay? So, syempre ito ay mga measurable outcomes. Kumbaga, within the semester or the rating period, ilan ang nagawa mo kung meron ka mang sinet na target. Okay? And na tinuturuan nating nagiging accountable ang specific employee at ang division o department na yan, no? Like, what do you mean, ma'am? I remember in terms of RDE, research and extension targets, no? From the university, ang ginagawa kasi nila is top bottom no? So from the university, ito yung target ng university, dina-download nila sa campus. From the campus dina-download sa colleges. So ilan halimbawa ang research na dapat maputos mo? Magkano ang dapat ma-secure mong external fund from outside sources pagdating sa research at sa extension? So, pag sinabi nila na, ilan, magkano, CHAS, magkano, CHK, no? So, kapag nag-agree ka doon sa target, whether you like it or not, you are accountable on that target. Okay? And then we have behaviorally anchored rating scale or BARS, combines quantitative and qualitative assessments, uses specific examples of behaviors anchored to performance levels. No? So ito ay parang mixed method. No? Meron kang rating scale, quantitative, at meron ding interview or hindi interview, performance indicators, no? na qualitative. No? So, ayan, in terms of, ang example niya dyan ay communication skills. So, pwede ka mag-come up ng checklist, no? ng rating scale in terms of communication skills. And then, there are also behavioral indicators, no? Of how well is the communication skill of the employee, if that is part of the criteria, no, in the performance of the employee. Okay? Still under traditional methods, we have critical incident method. Managers maintain records of positive and negative incidents related to each employee. Para bang nagre-record sila ng mga good and bad deeds mo. Okay? Supports behavior-based feedback, though it can be time-consuming and subjective. No? Minsan kasi your deeds, yung mga behavior mo can be misinterpreted and overinterpreted, no? Like, for example, nagiging objective ka lang naman. You would want lang naman to do your work as to do your work very objectively, no? Pero pwedeng yung pagiging objective mo, pwedeng ang iba ang tingin sa'yo ay very rigid ka, ah, very strict ka, no? So there can be overinterpretations and misinterpretations, and this could be therefore what be subjective, no? Ang dating. Checklist and weighted checklist, no? Managers tick off predefined statements that describe employee behavior. Weighted versions assign numerical value to each item. Okay? So, meron kang checklist of what or how should an employee behave, which of course are still relevant to the performance of the job of the employee, no? And then merong mga specific numerical value ang mga ito. Okay? And then i-add mo siguro mag-total ng 100 o the higher, yun parang ganun, the higher the numerical value would mean what? Good performance or better performance din siguro sa part ng employee. Okay? Then, for modern methods, 360-degree feedback, input from multiple sources, peers, ayan. So, ito yung kinukuhanan mo ng, tawag dyan, kinukuhanan mo ng perspective. Ginagawa natin ito, di ba, sa performance evaluation natin, lalong-lalo na sa instruction. The students' evaluation of teachers, the superiors' evaluation of the teaching effectiveness, and also the peers' evaluation of and self din, no? Self, no? Kasi kasama yan. Okay. Offers a comprehensive view. Kaya siya 360 degree kasi para bang multi-sectors or sources ang iyong kino-consider for the tawag dyan, for the evaluation. Then we have human resource cost accounting method. It evaluates employee performance based on the monetary contribution to the organization. Siguro kung sa sales yan, no? Or yung halimbawa dito pala is sa sa external funding, 'di ba? O yung mga nasa SUPS diyan. Yung ating NBC ngayon, yung JC natin ngayon, merong criteria doon kahit sa SUP leveling, merong criteria doon na kung magkano ang naipapasok mong pondo para sa research. Meron siyang specific points. The higher, kung milyones yan, no? The better, parang ganun. Okay? Then we also have essay method. Managers write a descriptive assessment of employee performance, allows qualitative feedback but lacks consistency, no? So lalong-lalo na kung si manager lang o si superior lang ang gagawa nung description mo, essay description, di parang subjective din, okay? And then we have psychological appraisals. Yan. So ginagawa din natin ito sa HRMPSB when I was still at the HR. Part of the protocol that I would give is psychological appraisals. So those applicants, no, usually would undergo IQ testing and personality testing, even EQ testing, no? As part of what? As part of merong time noon may period noon na ni-require kami as part of our promotion documents. Okay? Then, okay, now we look into the Philippine context in terms of performance appraisal. So it says here that performance appraisal for Philippine government employees is primarily governed by the SPMS as mandated by the CSC and adopted by all government agencies and instrumentalities since 2012. So the SPMS is designed to objectively assess employee performance by linking individual outputs with organizational goals, ensuring employees contribute effectively to public service. Okay. So there are key features of the appraisal system in the government, no? And this include IPCR. Alam nyo yan. Lahat tayo gumagawa niyan. So this is a document, no, to which para bang it serves as a performance contract. So ito yung target ko, ito ang mga dapat kong gawin. At the end of the semester, nagawa ko ba yung tinarget ko? Kung hindi, anong mangyayari? Meron tayong tinatawag na catch-up plan sa mga nasa SOAPs, no? I remember, since I also serve as the college extension coordinator, I remember there are targets along extension na because of some limitations and challenges, we were not able to concretize within the year. No? And so we are asked to have our action plan as our way of parang explaining or of laying down the plans as to what should we do in order to still fulfill the targets. Parang ganun. Okay? So, performance monitoring also. The system requires continuous monitoring. Kaya nga yung nabanggit ko kanina, usually quarterly yung monitoring. No? Hindi lang towards the end. Kasi ano na ang gagawin mo kapag hindi pala nagawa lahat ng empleyado yung kanyang target. Kaya nga dapat quarterly ka din or kung masipag ka masyado, no, monthly yung iyong checking of the fulfillment of the targets. Okay? Para may time ka pa na gumawa ng measures, no, mag-replanning kung kailangan ng replanning, no, sa mga ganun. Okay, competency assessment and development. The appraisal also assesses employee competencies against job requirements and identifies gaps leading to learning and development interventions to support career advancement. Halimbawa, ang isa sa mga target ay that all of the faculty members must have their must be masteral degree holder kasi yun ang minimum requirement. Okay? O tapos meron kang kaka-permanent lang na BS pa lang. Ay, bakit kasi siya na permanent? BS pa lang siya, no? So, temporary siguro kasi minimum requirement nga yung MA degree holder, di ba? Okay? So, usually, ang tinatarget natin ay na dapat therefore ay doctorate degree holder. Kaya napansin niyo laging meron yan sa OPCR ng DIN that all faculty members must be doctorate degree holder. Okay, now, nakita mo na iilan lang, no? Ngayon ang trend kasi dapat verticalized, no? Ibig sabihin along the field of specialization. O doctorate degree holder nga sila pero hindi naman sila along their field of specialization. So what should you do? Edi you send them for postdoctorate degree or you send them into another doctorate degree entitling them to have that field of specialization or along their field of specialization. Okay? So, what will you do? You send them for scholarships, no? Like, we have one in our college, no, who was sent in a university in Thailand to have his doctorate degree in sports science, no? Si educational management mostly ang nandun sa CHK. So anyway, ayan. Rating scale and criteria, the CSC sets adjectival ratings. O ito, kung napansin ninyo, sige. Siguro I'll look into my IPCR para mas makatotohanan yung ating ating sharing. Let me look into my IPCR and to share it to you that indeed as shared on screen, di ba? There is a criteria set forth by CSC, and these criteria ratings would include outstanding, VS, satisfactory. Sige, I'll just share to you my I would want to share to you my IPCR so that you could relate unto what I am saying, no? So you have here okay, hindi ko alam kung nakikita nyo ba on screen? Doon na ito. Okay. So I don't know if it's shared on screen now, but I'm sharing here in the IPCR. Okay? So, dito sa part na to, yung rating nandyan. Kasama dun sa IPCR form natin, outstanding if the performance expectation exceeded by 30% and above of the planned target. Very satisfactory if it's 15% to 29%. Satisfactory if it met 90% to 114% of the planned target. So this is the reason why kapag satisfactory ka ng strike 3 or strike 2, I'm not so sure kung strike 2 or strike 3, no? It may have implications, no? Particularly for a demotion. Bakit? Kasi parang kapag sakto lang yung iyong performance kapag satisfactory yung performance mo. Okay? Unsatisfactory kapag 51 to 89% and poor kapag most targets by 50%. Hindi ko alam kung katulad din ninyo kasi sa CSU kapag ang target ay kapag ang performance evaluation ay outstanding, parang nagpapa-explain sila. Kailangan mo ng substantiation. All the more din kapag satisfactory and down yung iyong performance. Okay? So, ayan. Then, let me, hindi ko ata na-share pala. Na-share ko ba? Hindi ko ata na-share. Ay, oo, na-share ko. Okay. Sige. Let me again go back to the PowerPoint. Okay? We also have on use of results. Para saan daw ba? Okay? Ang performance evaluation ay hindi para ikahon lang ng HR. Hindi para manatili lang sa IPCR. Okay? Kundi para maging basis ng rewards, ng promotion, ng training, ng kung anumang administrative action. Okay? Kailangan din po yung performance evaluation para sa mga PBIS or Performance-Based Incentive System. Deserve mo ba ang PBB? Deserve mo ba ang PEI? Yan. Ang tinitingnan ay ang iyong performance evaluation. And for legal and policy framework. So the CSC, the system is supported by CSC guidelines and the salary standardization law, which institutionalizes performance-based incentives in the government sector. Okay? So hindi ka naman deserving na taasan ng sahod every year, no? Kung hindi maganda ang iyong performance. Okay. Now, we look into the process because as mentioned earlier, part of our objective is for us to be acquainted of the process, no? So, there are several steps, no? First is we establish performance criteria through our KPIs, no? Key Performance Indicators. Saan ninyo ito makikita? Babalik kayo sa inyong IPCR. Okay? Kung meron kayong IPCR dyan, you could look into your IPCR. Meron tayong mga MFOs at PAPs, no? Okay, so major final outputs and programs, activities, and projects, no? So ano-anong mga strategic priorities along SUC, along PBB, along support functions, okay? So makaka-relate kayo niyan kapag tiningnan ninyo ang inyong mga IPCR. Siguro sa DepEd, iba ang kanilang formatting, pero more likely merong performance indicator yan. Merong criteria. Okay? Communicating expectations. Administration, our management would discuss performance standards and expectations and would align our targets to that of the targets of the organization. Step 3, monitoring and documentation. Okay, ito yung ginagawa natin every quarter. Okay? Ano na ang natapos mo doon sa target mo? Ano pa ang mga hindi mo natapos na kinakailangan mo ng tulong ng administration? Okay? Then we also have evaluation, formal, either formal, through those methods that we have discussed earlier. So either traditional or modern method. Okay, and then step 5 is feedback and counseling session. So those who needs counseling for what reason, for whatever reason, will be referred for counseling. Now, ang tanong, ginagawa ba yan sa government? So usually, with our immediate supervisor, no? Okay. So, we also have action planning and goal setting. So, in here, when performance when the our performances were already evaluated, no? Halika na, halika na. Tama na, bakit umiiyak? Okay. So we have action planning and goal setting. When performance when we were already evaluated, definitely those areas to which we need to be supported in terms of training, in terms of salary increase, no? Dito po papasok yun sa step 6. Then step 7, follow up and review. Okay, periodic check-ins, evaluate progress and provide ongoing support. So in relation also to step 6, no? And in addition, in step 7, employees are made to be engaged, no, and aligned, no, with their performance targets. Okay. Then we also have, ayan, across all government agencies, no, including DepEd and CHED, those in SUCS, the Strategic Performance Management System follows a four-phase cycle, no? So yung mga steps na binanggit natin kanina, kung ito ay kung ito ay um, ilalapat natin, actually, it can be broken into 4 phases lang. So what are these phases, no? Performance planning and commitment, okay? Align individual, the objective of this phase is to align individual and team goals with agencies' strategic priorities. So papasok din dito yung KPIs na sinasabi natin. What are the goals? What are the targets of the organization or of the university, no? And then how can the employees' targets be aligned to these goals and targets of the organization? So the process involves what? The identification of the key result areas, no? On the part of the management, no? And of course, how are you able to um, how would the organization be able to concretize, no, these MFOs and PAPs on the CRAS? What are the success indicators and what are the targets, no? So these are documented through the IPCRF and the OPCRF. Okay? In-depth performance planning is aligned with the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, no? Yung PPST na sinasabi natin. Okay? So, phase 2 has to do with monitoring and coaching. So, ganun din yung steps kanina, no? Nabanggit natin kanina, anong step ba yon kailangan natin ng monitoring and coaching? Ayan, step 3, monitoring and documentation, no? So, ang kasama doon, pasok po yun sa phase 2. Okay? So dito, it ensure ongoing alignment, support, and early intervention if issues arise, no, relative to performance, no. So herein, supervisors provide regular feedback, conduct coaching, and update communication of accomplishments. No, what are some of the documents? No, you have mid-year review. No, ito yung mid-year performance review. No, monitoring tools, no, like every end of the semester or of the school year, pero actually semester yan, no, kasi kung maalala nyo sa performance as evaluation ng teaching effectiveness, di ba, every end of the semester dapat nag-evaluate. Pero ano bang practice natin? Usually every end of the semester ba? Perform ang teaching effectiveness? Yes, every end of the semester, no? Nagka-classroom observation din ba sila sa inyo? Siyempre, mas alam ninyo kung ginagawa ng mga program coordinators ang kanilang responsibilities o hindi. Okay? Phase 3, performance review and evaluation. Measure actual accomplishments against targets. No? So, employees submit accomplishment reports. Diba? We are asked to submit our accomplishment reports every end of the quarter or every end of the semester. And this has to be substantiated with MOVs. Okay? And these are being reviewed by the PMT, especially when we are given already scores. No, ano bang ginagawa sa inyo? No, as per practice, in our case, no, meron tayong self-appraisal, di ba? Naggagrado tayo, ginagrado natin ang ating mga sarili. And then we present it before our immediate supervisor, our dean, for example. And then the dean tempers or would affirm your self evaluation. Of course, presenting your evidences, no? So dito papasok yung performance management team. Okay? And last phase is on performance, rewarding, and development planning. So there is, if there is a good performance, then you are recognized. And if there are gaps, the gaps must be addressed. No? So here, sabi nga dyan, no, meron bang performance improvement plans? Ginagawa ba yan sa mga poor performers? Kasi wala namang poor performers kasi sa atin, di ba? Okay? Kaya most likely, hindi natin ginagawa yan. Pero merong ganun pala, no? Coaching interventions. Okay? Meron tayong individual development plan, yung faculty and staff development plan na sinasabi natin. So that if the reason why I am not able to deliver much is because I don't have yet my doctorate degree, then the intervention is the management would send you, no, for your doctorate degree. No? Okay. So in depth ed daw, this is the process. No, of course, featured here are the 4 phases already. No, from performance planning and commitment to performance rewarding and development. Okay, so this integrates the PPST kung naalala ninyo yung binabanggit ko kanina. Okay, now sa CHED naman, um, meron tayong mga faculty roles along instruction, research, extension, production, and meron pa tayong support services, di ba? O yung administrative support. No? So, dito tayo ginigrade, no? At ang grade natin dito, ang porsyento niya ay nakabase sa kung anong posisyon ang ino-occupy ninyo. Okay? Ngayon, kapag assistant professor below, no? Mandatory ang instruction. Mataas ang porsyento ng instruction. You are not discouraged to do research, but you are more encouraged to focus on instruction because that is the higher bulk of the percentage when you are evaluated. No? For associate professor up, the higher percentage now goes to research, extension and production. Okay? So, you are not all, of course, discouraged to be effective in instruction because that is your primary duty, But definitely, part of what is also expected of you is research, And kapag professor 3 and up, hindi na lang basta-bastang research, dapat ay research which are externally funded. No? In fact, hindi ko alam kung institutional policy lang, sa CSU ngayon na kapag ikaw ay professor up, tatanggalin ka sa mga extension work na yung usual na extension work na institutional funded. Dapat ay ang extension work mo ay externally funded. Di ba, bongga? Okay. Now, we're done with performance appraisal. We look into performance counseling. Okay? So what is performance counseling? It is a proactive HR practice aimed at helping employees overcome performance-related challenges. It focuses on improving behavior, mindset, skills, and productivity through guided conversation and support. It is a structured and supportive process used by managers or supervisors to help employees recognize, understand, and improve their job performance, behaviors, or attitudes. Okay. So in short, the function is lodged in the Human Resource Division. Although, meron tayong tinatawag na Performance Management Team, PMT. At kasama pa rin doon si HR. Okay? So, ginagawa ba ito? No, I remember when I was still the HR, meron kaming COS noon na tawag dito, was reported as, ano yun? Parang, in terms of the performance of the employee, hindi niya nagagampanan. No? Bakit? Kasi natutulog siya. natutulog siya while in duty. Hindi siya hindi ibig sabihin na ano siya na security siya nasa admin work siya, no? So this was reported to us, and we intervened actually, no? So we looked into the reason why. Kasi 'di ba sabi nila all behaviors has reasons. And when we dig into the reason, bakit kaya siya natutulog kapag yun pala effect pala ng gamot. Meron pala siyang mental health concern, no? So things like this, what did we do, no? Of course, whether we like it or not, since yan ay um, deterrent, no, sa performance mo ng job o ng duty mo, no? It was suggested that the employee would rest. I mean, take a leave from work, no? SEOS siya, ma'am, no? Pinatapos yung kanyang contract, no? And then the employee was advised, no, to take a mental health break, no, in work, no? And all throughout while the employee was still with us, no, the employee was able to receive naman siguro the kind of help that the employee needs, no. There had been also referrals to professionals who could help, no, the employee. And eventually hindi na siya nag-renew, no? Pero the employee is now gainfully employed and with a plantilla position in the government. No? So you see, I think this is where performance counseling sets in, no? So that if the employee was able to receive the necessary intervention that he or she needs, then the employee would still thrive and become better, no? And eventually would live a healthy and a productive work life, no? Okay? So, as to the nature of performance counseling, it is developmental, no? So its aim is definitely to help the person grow as an individual, personally and professionally. So it's not punitive, no? I could just recall kung hindi tayo nangialam doon sa kaso ng empleyado na yon, no? At basta-basta natin siyang tinanggal dahil anyway kapag COS laging sinasabi na no employee-employer relationship naman, no? Ay malamang mas naging na-aggravate ang kanyang mental health. Diba? So it's not punitive but it's developmental. It involves open dialogue and mutual trust. So remember, it's not, of course, always comfortable to disclose, but through open communication, it's only through open communication that you could help, no, the person. It focuses on behavior and outcomes, not personal traits, no? You don't label the employee as bakit kaya siya natutulog? Lazy, ano ba? May term doon may characterization tayo ng empleyado kapag nakikita natin yung empleyado, no? Loafing kapag yung 'di ba, yung office hours hindi mo ginagawa yung trabaho mo, that's loafing, no? Used both for underperforming and even for high potential employees, no? It is manager-led but employee-oriented. So ibig sabihin, it's the initiative of the management. Its aim is to guide, not to blame, and it often follow a step up after performance appraisal or regular monitoring. Okay, so remember, it's always would redound to the betterment or the welfare of the employee. Okay, now I have a sample scenario here. Okay, imagine an employee, Ravi, who consistently misses project deadlines. During the performance appraisal, his manager notes this trend and gives him a below average rating in time management. Instead of just issuing a warning, the manager schedules performance counseling with Ravi. In the session, they jointly identify the issue. So what is the issue why Ravi consistently misses project deadlines? Ravi is overwhelmed by multitasking. Marami pala siya masyadong trabaho. The manager suggests tools like time blocking and prioritization training. So a follow-up is scheduled to assess progress after 1 month. This integrated approach helps Ravi improve and feel supported rather than punished. Okay? So imagine if the manager did not in any way refer him for counseling. They were not able to find out what really is the problem, no? And having identified the problem, the manager still along with the employee planned for or thought of remedies or interventions. And after having intervened, no, what is the impact or implication on the performance? It is hoped that the performance counseling would aid for the betterment of the employee. So what are the primary purposes of performance counseling? First, like the performance appraisal, it clarify expectations. It ensure that the employee understands their role, goals, and performance standards. No? So it is in here where the management is set to communicate, no? Or let the employee understand, no, what is expected of him in terms of performance. Addresses performance gaps. So it is used to identify specific issues affecting productivity, behavior, or results. Okay? It supports personal development. Okay? Go back to the case of Ravi. No? Should there be a need for training? Should there be a need for what clarifications of uh, as to what to prioritize? No? It prevent escalation, no, especially of issues, no, early detection of issues in the workplace would of course aid in intervention of the issues and eventually would affect morale, productivity, and organizational performance. And enhance communication. Okay? It helps build a stronger relationship between the employee and the supervisor through honest dialogue. Okay? What are the benefits on the part of the employee? Because as we mentioned earlier, it is employee-centered. It helps improve self-awareness, for skill development, for increased motivation, and for career growth. Oh, so katulad din ng counseling na you are made to understand um, your limitations as an individual. Mag- okay? And you are helped, no, to areas to which you need help. And this therefore is hope to increase motivation and to help you grow as a person. Okay? On the part of the organization or the employer, okay, higher productivity, reduce turnover, improve team dynamics, and data-driven decisions. Okay? So when employee counseling is institutionalized is uh, or would form part of the process in uh, the human resource division, then this would be um, concretized for the organization. And definitely, it would help the organization along this line. Okay? Now, what is the process? Okay. Katulad din kanina ng performance appraisal na ang una ay identification of targets through the KPIs. There is also an identification for the need, no? For the need to undergo performance counseling. Okay? So ano-ano nga ba ang mga grounds bakit pwede mong i-refer ang isang empleyado for counseling, no? Sabi diyan, It's for poor performance, no? When after performance evaluation, you were able to find out that there is a low performance, no? Siguro nandun lang siya sa satisfactory, no? Eh dati very satisfactory or outstanding ang kanyang performance, no? If there are behavioral issues, o ito maraming ganito sa atin, 'di ba? Pero hindi lang siguro nabibigyan ng pansin. Bakit? Memo, nami-memohan nagme-memo ba ang mga superiors nyo? Ginagamit ba nila ang kanilang authority, no, to also call out employees, difficult employees, no? So dapat lang, lalong-lalo na kapag may mga behavioral issues like habitual absenteeism. Actually, that is against civil service rules, di ba? No, habitual absenteeism, yung absence without leave, no? Um, or yung attitude, no? Um, um, may mga ganun ba? Wala naman siguro, professional naman siguro tayo makideal sa ating mga kapwa empleyado, no? Okay? If there are requests for career planning, no? Like sabi nga natin kanina, it's not only for those who perform below the performance bar, but even to high performers, no? So career planning, along career planning, feedback from performance appraisal, no? If for example there is a performance evaluation and you feel like the employee needs, no, to be referred for performance counseling as a result of the performance appraisal, then why not? Okay? So, ayan, in public service, and unsatisfactory rating in SPMS or RPMS may trigger formal counseling. Okay, step 2, prepare for the session. Okay, parang sa counseling session din ito, review performance records katulad ng ang isang counselor ay kailangan mag-review ng um, ang tawag dito ay ano individual file, no? Student record. Ano na kasing tawag noon sa inyo, no? Um, Kalimutan ko na yung tawag sa guidance. No, basta yung individual record file, IRF, no, ng students, no? Attendance logs, yung kanyang mga DTRs, no? Or incident reports ng kanyang higher up kapag ano yan, attitudinal issues, okay? Define clear objectives for the session and prepare to present facts, not opinions. Okay, now, what are some of your techniques? Kasi ito na yun, conduct the counseling session. What are some of your techniques? There are approaches that you can actually use, no? We have active listening, no? 'Di ba? Ginagamit natin 'yan sa counseling. You give full attention, you avoid interruption, you show empathy, no? Siyempre, laging kasama diyan yung rapport, building rapport, 'di ba? Okay. So, open-ended questions encourage self-reflection. So, what challenges are you facing, for example? No? Or kung sa tingin mo ay kaya siya ni-refer for performance counseling ay dahil sa mga um, habitual tardiness and absenteeism niya, kumbaga mga behavioral concerns, no? You let the employee realize, no, the reason why he or she was referred for performance counseling, no? So, kamusta naman ang iyong attendance, no? Ano ang mga challenges mo? Kapag halimbawa nasabi niya na lagi kasi akong late ma'am, lagi akong absent, no? Anong mga challenges? Bakit laging late at bakit laging absent, no? So you let the employee realize that this is the reason why he or she was referred for performance counseling. And if that is the reason, what lead to the behavior, no? So, um, and what can he do? No? Kasi definitely hindi naman ikaw na counselor ang magtatrabaho, mag-workout para mabago yung behavior ng employee. It's the employee, you know. So, uh, encourage self-reflection. What is it that you can do um, in order for you to siguro not have an unsatisfactory rating? No? So, kapag sinabi niya na I have to work it out, ma'am, na ma-meet ko yung mga targets ko. No? So, what is specific action? Kasi medyo vague, broad yung sagot. No? Kailangan ano mo siya, tulungan mo siya na bumalik doon sa SMART, no? SMART goal, no? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound, no? So, kung ito ang hindi mo nagawa, sa period na to, ano ang pwede mong gawin. Okay? Ah, mga ilang ilang months mo kaya pwedeng gawin 'yan para ma-attain mo pa rin yung ah, target mo. Okay? Non-judgmental feedback, focus on the behavior or outcomes, not the personal faults. You are not there to do pinpointing of whom to blame, no? So you are there to address the behavior. Okay? So kailangan ipaintindi mo sa kanya yun. Yun kung minsan ang challenging, no? Kasi syempre, yung subjectivity mo din kung minsan. Kaya ang dapat mag-handle dyan ay registered counselor as much as possible. Now, kung ikaw ay HR at hindi ikaw ang hindi ka registered counselor, pwede mo namang i-refer, no? Pero kung ikaw naman ay psychologist, why not? Di ba? Okay. So, collaborative, although I don't see I have not encountered any um, literature that says strictly requiring a registered counselor to do the performance counseling. Pero yung notion lang kasi na since it's counseling, um, then it must be done by at least a knowledgeable individual, no? And in here, I mean a registered or a professional counselor, or at least one who is knowledgeable of the field. Okay? So if you're not, and yet you are the HR, then um, the the very rightful decision. Then the very rightful decision you can do is to refer. Okay? Collaborative problem solving, jointly identify solutions, alternatives, or training needs. So, ibig sabihin, along with the employee, you decide, no? And definitely kasi ang employee pa rin ang gagawa ng ano mo. Okay? Then develop an action plan. Okay? Performance targets to be met, support mechanisms, timeline for review, and we also have follow up and monitor progress. Okay? So katulad din ng counseling, meron ding follow up. Diba? Now, how is performance appraisal and counseling interconnected? No? So in performance appraisal, evaluation driven. No? Ang goal natin ay tingnan kung ano na ang nagawa, na-achieve ng empleyado vis-a-vis sa target. Okay? Ang performance counseling ay development driven. Kung merong mga hindi nagawa, no, ng empleyado, ano ang pwedeng gawin para merong development, mag-progress, no, yung empleyado. Ang performance appraisal focuses on the past, basically because we are measuring past performance, no? Effort, no? Past effort relative to the set criteria, no? Ang performance counseling focuses on future. What is it that I can do next, no? So that I can do better. Ang performance appraisal is formal and periodic. Meron siyang specific period, structured siya. Ang performance counseling ay informal and continuous. Meaning to say, irrespective of where are you in the process, no? If there is a need for counseling, no, you can refer or you can do. Then measures outcomes while performance counseling encourages improvement. Okay? They are often integrated processes, and appraisal might highlight a need for counseling, and counseling might lead to a better future appraisals. Okay? So I think pages 42 to 46 is your will be your task. Okay? It's a scenario based application. So you can choose which of these two. There are two scenarios here. You can choose which of these two would you want to work on. And this is a group task. You can choose siguro dual na lang, anim ata kayo no na enrolled sa akin. So um, you can do this. Although ang context nito ay per organization. So you can group with classmates who work on the same organization, or you can choose. Okay? To whom would you want to work with? Parang ganun. Okay? So I think that's until page 45. So that's it. If you were able to reach this part of the discussion, then thank you and congratulations. That means to say you patiently, what do you call that? You patiently um, listened and hopefully understood. No? Apologies, the reason why I actually came up with this video lecture is because at 2 o'clock, mamaya I will be on transit to Tugigaraw. We are here in Isabela kasi. So thank you and good day. God bless everyone. Should you have questions or should you want substantiations, perhaps we can do that first 15 minutes next meeting. Okay? So thank you and good day. Bye-bye.